the Bible teaches that the kingdom of Yahweh rules over the people and nations of the earth. The nations are not actually part of the kingdom, any more than the average citizen of any country is part of the government that rules over them. One must enter the kingdom of Yahweh to be in it. Therefore, we must ask, as distinct from those who are governed by it, who is actually in the kingdom? In I Corinthians 15:50-51, Paul stated, "Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of Yahweh. Neither does corruption inherit incorruption. Behold, I show you a mystery. Certainly, this is a mystery to almost everyone, that flesh and blood human beings cannot enter the kingdom of Yahweh." It would be helpful to read the entirety of this resurrection chapter of I Corinthians 15. Only at the resurrection are human beings, all true Christians, changed, born again, from flesh to spirit. Do you see, then, how no church can possibly be the kingdom of Yahweh? Churches are physical. Flesh and blood physical people are able to enter and exit a church building. So, this rules out all churches, or, for that matter, the British Empire, from being the kingdom of Yahweh. Just believe the plain truth of the Bible. The kingdom of Yahweh cannot include flesh and blood people. A series of verses in John 3 is commonly misunderstood by those who believe that they can be born again in this life, while they're still composed of flesh and blood, and see the kingdom of Yahweh. In this account, Nicodemus, a Pharisee, approached Christ and acknowledged in verse 2, "Rabbi, we know that you are a teacher come from Yahweh." He plainly admitted that they knew who Christ was and who had sent him to earth. Notice that Nicodemus spoke for more than himself when he stated, "We know." He was referring to himself and the other Pharisees who recognized who and what Yeshua Christ was. They could not deny the power of Yahweh evident in the miracles that Christ was performing. The religious leaders, the Pharisees, well understood that he was a teacher come from Yahweh bringing the truth. They still called him a blasphemer, drunkard, heretic, seditionist, bastard, ignorant, demon-possessed, false prophet and more, and crucified him. Many people see the plain truth of the Bible, yet choose to ignore it in order to hold to their own traditions, Mark 7:7, and ideas. Christ told Nicodemus, "Except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of Yahweh," verses 3. He explained that only by being born again can one actually see Yahweh's kingdom. So, there is a limitation on who can see the kingdom. But there is no limitation on physical people seeing either a church or an empire. Anyone of any religion or belief can see any other physical item. Grasp these critical points that Christ is making. In verse 5, Christ states that unless one is born of water and of the Spirit, he cannot enter into the kingdom of Yahweh. Yes, the kingdom is something that can be entered into, but Christ explains his born of water, baptism and of the Spirit phrase in verse 6, that which is born of the flesh is flesh, and that which is born of the Spirit is spirit. Flesh and blood cannot enter into the kingdom of Yahweh, but spirit can. Because Christ wanted to allow no room for misunderstanding, he likened spirit to wind. Wind, like spirit, is invisible. It cannot be seen. Therefore, those in the kingdom must be composed of spirit. The kingdom in the heart of men? Many choose to believe that the kingdom enters into people rather than people entering into the kingdom. We have seen that people must ignore the plain statements of Christ in order to draw this conclusion. They spiritualize away the coming very real kingdom of Yahweh, in order to turn it into an ethereal feeling in the heart of men. Deceivers say that to have the Spirit of Yahweh is to have the kingdom within you. Many centuries of outright deception have caused millions to believe nothing more than fiction instead of the plain truth of the Bible. Since it is obvious to many that people can enter into the many modern-day countries of what was once the British Empire and that people can enter into a church, deceived religionists concocted the idea that the kingdom of Yahweh rests in the heart of men. I have often heard people express something similar to the following: the kingdom of Yahweh can be established in the hearts of men if all Christians everywhere will just work together in love to bring about world peace and tolerance toward all. Where do they get this idea? From a mistranslation of Luke 17:20-21. In this passage, Christ appeared to speak of the kingdom of Yahweh within you. We need to examine this mistranslation. If this verse actually does say that the kingdom of your way is within people, then it contradicts all the other scriptures we have examined. And if the Bible contradicts itself in such obvious ways, we can throw it away, for it cannot be the word of Yahweh. I ask you, brothers and sisters, to pray to Yahweh through the name of Yeshua, that you could repent and choose to serve Yahweh wholeheartedly and to receive his protection and guidance along with discernment. It is time right now to get right with Yeshua and to seek him wholeheartedly before it is too late. Repent now and seek him and pray to him and get yourself right with Yeshua so that you can fulfill his will and spread his true gospel to the rest of the world. Please, just as Yeshua has been telling us for centuries, that he is seeking his bride, he wants us, I ask you to always seek Yeshua. Please repent now and pray for forgiveness and observe and keep the Sabbath holy, which is from Friday sundown until Saturday sundown, and observe Yahweh's holy feast days. And spread the true gospel of Yeshua. And learn more at followyeshuanow.com, and please also download the free ebook, The True Christian's Guideline. Remember that it is constantly being updated. And also we all must answer the follow-up to the True Christian's Guideline book.